Taxes, inflation, and the breakdown of the family are causing us to fall behind. We have the lowest net worth in the United States, and I'm sure those numbers cross the border as well.
Some people get the disability tax credit and they don't open the registered disability savings plan, and that's where the government puts in all the money of grants and bonds for a person with a disability who has done all the steps. Some people don't do all the steps.
Good morning, everybody. It's Dr. Vibe here, host and producer of the award-winning Dr. Vibe show, the home of Epic Conversations. And I'm the host of Epic Conversations 2020, Best Podcast News Award winner, 2018 Innovation Award winner, given out by the Canadian Ethnic Media Association. I also co-host and co-produce the only online show in the world for dads and fathers that's sponsored by Dove Men Plus Care. And that team, which I'm a part of since 2020, that's when we started, has reached out directly and indirectly to over 400,000 dads, fathers, and male caregivers around the world. So I'm very happy about that. Also, just want to say you are watching The Morning Vibe live on August 12th, 2024, Monday, start of a new week. And how was y'all weekend? Hope your weekend was good. My co-host Ryan O'Neill Knight will not be with us. Something has come up, so he, about 3 or 4 minutes, said he can't make it today. As always, please subscribe if you are up to it. Subscribe to the Dr. Vibe show on YouTube and hit the notification button. And we have passed 1,500 subscribers. Hey. And today, for tuning in today, you have the chance to win something. You have the chance to win. You know, I might as well say right now. So most first Mondays of each month, we have Carolyn Nichol, certified holistic nutritionist from the Energy Shack Juice Bar on. And she's been part of the success of this channel, get up to 1,500 plus subscribers. So I asked her a favor. So what we're going to be doing today for anyone who's watching live, we're going to give away a free consultation with Carolyn. That's regularly worth over 110 bucks. You'll get a free one. So you have to stick around for the conversation. You have to be watching live, at least till the, well, if you have to leave, come back at the end. We're going to be doing a giveaway for the people who have been watching live today. Excuse me. Okay, we're going to get through this. Having a little bit of a health challenge here, but we're going to find a way. Also, please like the Dr. Vibe show on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. Other business, to advertise your business, product, or service on any of the platforms that I'm a part of, please feel free to email me at dr.vibe@vibeshow.com. Join the Morning Vibe Discord group where we continue the conversations offline in between epic conversations. Email me dr.vibe@vibeshow.com. I also got to hail up Indie Suit Media. What's Indie Suit Media? IndieSuitMedia.tv is an online independent creators network where different content creators from all over North America, I don't know if they're over in Europe yet, but all over North America, over almost 40 content creators, and it's run by our great friend, Dr. Tachi out of Florida. And the network's been in existence for about 6 months now and has over, I think by now they have 17,000 subscribers. I have 3 shows that are live on that, that are rebroadcast on that network. This is one of them. Another one is Pride Time with Aisha and Lala. And the third one, I believe, is Black Canada Talking. So that I have content on the network. I also am one of the advisors of the broadcast and had a sharing session I had with some of the content creators last week on sponsorship, put your podcast sponsored. It was a lot of fun and had a lot of positive feedback. So I was very happy about that. Primetime Saturday with Aisha and Lala. Join Aisha K. Staggers and Laura Lala Key as they cut through the chaos and make some sense of the nonsense in American news and politics.
Where is your getting out there and doing everything that needs to be done to get this man in office? Because I don't see it.
Sharp insights, bold opinions, and a touch of humor. It's the show that keeps you informed and entertained.
Only when it fits their benefit.
Exactly.
Don't miss Primetime Saturday with Aisha and Lala. Tune in and stay ahead of the headlines. Today, you're going to educate me and I think some others again the power of sprouts. The power.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm going to try to turn another light on here. I see it as the sun keeps getting brighter behind me. My light. Anyway, it's okay. So I do have a PowerPoint.
Yeah. Okay. So what you need to do is at the bottom of your screen, click present. And then one of the options you should have is to
share my screen.
Share your screen. And I'll ask you, what, go to a tab or etc. And I'll know when that happens on my end when you get that tab up. While Carolyn's doing that, Cindy says fasting is not only good for our bodies, but it can also reset us spiritually. 100%. 100%. Okay, there we go. 100%. And look what's up here.
Oh, look.
This is
good sharing screen.
Look at the power sprouting and cute. Wow, she's getting everything in. Bam, bam. And welcome, Cindy, to the morning vibe. I see you're watching on YouTube. If you are up to it, please feel free to subscribe to the Dr. Vibe Show YouTube channel and hit the notification button. All right, you got it going on. Here you go.
Awesome. I love this. Okay, great. So, wow, it's so big and beautiful. So I'm really glad to be here and glad to share this information with you. So mostly I want to share, I mean, we're talking about health all the time, but here's the thing is that I don't think we realize the power of raw foods, and not everybody can consume raw foods. That's a little disclaimer. Some people have some digestion issues and they can't really have as much raw foods as they like. But for the most part, what most people are missing, and this even can go with Serena with her brother's situation, and many of us, we crave a lot of sugars, we crave a lot of carbohydrates because our system, number one, is not nourished enough, and number two, there's not enough water in our system. So what happens is that when you eat a lot of cooked foods, as soon as it's heated, it's losing its nutrients. So that's the reality of cooked food. And when you have raw food, you have your salads, you have your cucumbers, you have your arugula, you have your fruits. The nutrients are all intact because they're fully raw. So you get so many more nutrients in your system. And when your checklist of nutrients is filled up, cravings go away. Many of us are craving things because we're malnourished. So the more you have raw food in your diet, the more that you'll find that your cravings are gone, that you have more energy. And the reason is that there's higher nutrition, but raw food has enzymes. So enzymes are needed to digest your cooked meal. But when you have a salad before your cooked meal, your body doesn't have to produce as many enzymes. So you have so much more energy because you're eating so much more raw, because it's live food. And then when that live food goes inside your body, you become alive. The other thing too is that your fruits, your vegetables, these are high water concentration. Once you cook your zucchini, or you cook your vegetables, you notice they spring water, they lose water, it evaporates in the pan. You might add your sauces and stuff, but now you're adding sugars, now you're adding salt. So cooked food can be very dehydrating. It requires a lot of water to digest your meal. But once you have your big salad before your cooked meal, there's so much water in there. Your body gets lots of water, so it doesn't have to rob water to digest your meal. Same thing when you have your fruits before your breakfast. It's full of water. So your body doesn't pull water from the system to digest the meal. So you end up more hydrated. People are drinking liters and liters of water a day, but they're not having high water concentrated foods. So they're actually in a state of dehydration. Are we good?
I am good. The raw foods, the higher nutrition, enzymes, the whole,
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me bring it back.
okay, no problem. So the high water concentration, and you were talking about, so drinking water before a meal is not good?
It's not that. You need a certain amount of water every day for sure, depending on your weight. But what I'm saying is that it's not enough just to be drinking water. And you never want to drink water while you're eating because then you dilute the enzymes. But when your food contains some water in it, the water is slowly pulled out of that food in a more systematic way. And that way it helps with digestion. If you're eating and you drink a glass of water, you dilute all of that hydrochloric acid. It's really problematic and your food can't digest well. But when you have a big salad that has water in it, that water comes out in slow regulation through the digestive system, and your body doesn't have to pull water from your system to digest, because that's what has to happen. Every time we eat a meal, some hydrochloric acid needs water. So some water is pulled from your system to continue the process of digestion. But when there is water inside the fibers of your meal, your body does not pull water from your system to digest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the water that you've consumed can be used for the processes. Your brain's 75% water. You can use that water for all the body's processes rather than robbing it for digestion.
Okay. So it's, again, I know you'll probably like this term. It's a more natural way of eating.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, you're aiding your body's natural rhythm of digestion rather than, pouring a glass of water into your system while you're eating. It doesn't work. It actually inhibits your body from digestion.
We hear the term a lot. Fiber is good for you. Fiber is good for you. Why is fiber good, especially when it comes to raw foods?
Wow, what a good question.
Well, you know what? You're holding me out to a standard, so I got to stay up there.
Yeah. So fiber is an amazing substance. Fiber is completely undigestible by the human body. And that's a good thing. That's a really good thing. Whatever you eat has to be broken down to its molecular state. You have an apple, you got to get the vitamin C out, you got to get the antioxidants out, you got to pull the water out. So that takes a lot of work. Fiber doesn't require work. I mean, a little bit because it has to get it out to the toilet, but it can't be broken down. It can't be digested. And it's very sticky. The soluble fiber that you have in your salads, your fruits, it's a very sticky substance. So because it can't be digested, it stays inside your colon, beginning in your stomach, then your small intestines, and it goes through this 30-foot gastrointestinal tract. Sticky.
Hold on. There's 30 feet inside of me?
Can you imagine? More than that, because you've got yes. And here's the thing: if you look at a lion, a lion's like 10, 12 feet. If you look at these animal eaters in the animal kingdom that eat animals, they have very, very short colons because meat rots while it's digesting.
Oh.
We have an extremely very long colon. That means that it's going to take at least 24 hours for food to pass through there. And so when you put meat inside a 24-hour passage, it's going to rot and putrefy. That doesn't happen with a lion or anybody in the animal kingdom that eats meat. It comes in and it goes out. They're left with the nutrients. They're left with the protein. But we're left with the rotting and the putrefaction of animal products sitting in a 37-degree intestinal tract. I mean, you take meat and leave it on your counter in a warm area for 24 hours, what's going to happen?
Wow, you're
Yeah, sorry.
you're making me not feel real good to eat meat anymore after that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't it funny? Isn't it funny? Think about the top meats that humanity eats today. Think about
Beef,
it. So
beef,
beef,
chicken,
chicken, pork,
pork. I don't. Yeah, pork.
yeah,
Yeah,
lamb.
lamb.
These are the main meats, right? Fish.
Yep.
We use these.
By the way, I've only had one piece of fish since I've met you.
Oh wow.
And the only thing, because it was a fish fry, but outside of that, I have not had any fish.
Amazing.
Any. So I'm getting there. But yeah. Oh,
But I'm just saying, all
that,
of these.
that description you made about the meat thing is sort of sticking on me right now. Go
You
on.
might have nightmares tonight.
Yeah, go on.
But if you just think about all of these animals, including the fish that we eat for protein, what do they eat for protein? Why are they so full of protein? What are they eating? Chickens, cows, pigs, fish. None of them eat meat.
No, they don't.
They don't eat meat. But we feel like we need to eat them for protein. Where are they getting their protein from? They get it from vegetables, from plants.
Let's continue on with the types of sprouts.
Yes, and welcome. Good to see you, Dr. Tachi. You have such a faithful audience. It's incredible.
By the way, Serena says, wow, thanks for the breakdown.
Yeah, my pleasure. So I really wanted to talk to you guys about sprouts today. And we did it a couple weeks ago for some of the Energy Shack audience, but it's a different audience here. And I'm very passionate about sprouts for a couple reasons. For myself, I'm mostly a raw food eater. So I don't eat a whole lot of cooked food. I'm mostly a raw vegan. And that turned into a major protein deficiency quite a few years ago for myself, because I went on this, I noticed that by eating mostly raw, I had more energy. I just felt better. So I kept going on this raw diet of just having a big salad for breakfast and some fruits and nuts in the afternoon. And after about a year of that, feeling really good, having lots of energy, my doctor's like, wow, your protein levels are so low. And I'm working out with this personal trainer. We had just wrapped up doing a year together. And I'm like, okay, I think I've got it on my own now. And I'm like, can you give me some feedback, Mr. Trainer? Which, by the way, to really great trainer, Yusuf Wong. I know that he's still working out, but anyway, he had said to me, you know what, Carolyn, I've been working out with you for a year. You are like so fast. You have so much energy. Like you put, you're almost 50 and you put my young women to shame with the amount of burpees you can do and jump ropes, and you just never run out of energy. But you were at the same weight that we started. And it's a year later, you haven't got stronger and you're never sore. And I think that's a problem. And he's right. He put me through all of these crazy workouts. I come back the next day and he's like, how sore are you? And I'm like, not sore at all. So I really put this to, I too get my blood work done regularly. I'm like, my protein's so low, but the reality is I had given up cooked food. So just being in prayer about it and just like, it's not, I need protein. I know that for every function of the human body. Like you can't live off low protein. That's not healthy. And then I remember that when the kids were younger, I used to sprout all the time. So I just went back to sprouting my beans rather than eating them in my cooked meal. And I'm telling you, in 2 weeks, I had gone from just being able to like do bicep curls with 10 pounds. I couldn't get over 10 pounds. And I was easily doing them at 17. Everything had changed. I was and I'd work out and all of a sudden it was getting sore again. So I had put my protein down to such low levels. But as soon as I started sprouting, what a drastic change. And as I dug into that deeper, recognizing that sprouts Just 2 tablespoons of sprouts will give you enough sprouts almost for a full week. But in one handful of one sprout has 6 times the amount of protein that is found in the actual bean if I cooked it. So there's a huge amount of protein, antioxidants, proteolytic enzymes, which fight cancer in sprouts. And they're so easy to make. No sunshine, no dirt, just water in your beans. And a little tiny bit goes such a long way. So they're very affordable, economical, and so, so healthy.
Wow. Okay. Like, so you were experiencing a deficiency and you said, oh, sprouts. Back to the sprouts game. Back to the sprouts game. Let me just see. Let's catch up on any comments here. Oh, so Dr. Sachi says, so you were building muscle, or she says, or were you not building muscle?
I was trying to build muscle, but it wasn't working.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it wasn't working because I didn't have anywhere close to enough protein to be able to do that. But once I stayed to my plant-based diet, but just added the sprout factor, huge difference.
Nice.
Huge difference, like literally overnight.
So if you're watching this live on the replay, plant seeds, broccoli, radish, mustard, beans, grains, seeds, pumpkin and sunflower seeds. So I don't know if you're going to be showing up in upcoming slides. So can you eating them raw?
So the type of sprouts that you can have is you can take broccoli seeds, radish seeds, mustard seeds, clove. You can go to a health food store and you can get these seeds. And so think about it. If I plant a radish seed, I'm going to get like 6-8 bulbs of radishes. When I sprout that seed and I eat just one seed, I'm getting the nutrients that would have been in 6 or 8 radishes in one seed, right? If I plant a broccoli seed, that's going to grow into like 3 heads of broccoli. I would never be able to eat that in a sitting. But how many broccoli sprouts can you eat in a sitting? Like a lot. So you end up having so many nutrients in your sprouts because you're sprouting them. And what happens is there's more enzymes, so it's live nutrients. You don't want to cook them. So you can sprout seeds, and you don't have to just go to a garden store and get your seeds. You can go to a health food store and they'll give you you can buy the sprouting seeds, but you can also just take your kidney beans, your chickpeas, like right off your shelf. I'm going to just grab some beans here. And I don't know if you guys can see that, but you can just take your
we
beans.
can see. Yeah.
These are just mung beans, and you can just sprout that. Now, if I'm going to cook mung beans,
I need to know what this term sprouting. What do you mean by?
I'm going to explain all of it.
Okay,
I'm going to show you how to do it. I brought all my stuff.
When this topic, you go, what is sprouting? What is sprouting?
Yeah, I know it. So it's very different than what we've been doing. This is a very practical way, and I'm sorry for the lighting. It's a very practical kind of talk today, but I'm just so passionate about sprouts and how, like, today everything is so expensive, but beans, rice, cabbage, apples, they're still the cheapest food on the planet. Bananas, like our plant foods are still the cheapest foods on the planet. So, I mean, it's the way to go if we're watching our budget. But think about it. If I wanted to cook some mung beans for myself, I'd have to have about a half a cup of mung beans cooked in order to serve me for just, 1, maybe 2 meals. I can take 2 tablespoons of beans, 2 tablespoons, and serve myself enough protein for an entire week because of sprouting. So you can sprout pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, you can sprout millet, you can sprout quinoa, you can sprout buckwheat, you can sprout wheat. I mean, that's how, some commercial manufacturers have sprouted wheat, but you could sprout pretty much anything as long as it's raw. It can't be pasteurized. It has to be fully and totally raw.
I'm still not clear on what is sprouting. I don't know what that means.
I'm going to show you. I'm going to tell you. So first of all, here's the process. Okay. First of all, you're going to take one bean, okay, or 2 or 3 beans, and you're going to soak them overnight. Okay. So you're going to take 2 tablespoons of your beans and you soak them overnight. Now you're going to have a germination process because they're going to get soft, the shells on the outside, and they're going to crack, okay? They're also going to require a lot of water in order for it to actually sprout. And when it does sprout, it increases the fiber content of the bean, but the process of creating a sprout to come out of the bean breaks down the carbohydrates inside, increases the enzymes, and increases the nutrients. Okay. So beans naturally have a lot of carbohydrates in them. And if you're a diabetic and you're trying to watch your carbs, if you sprout your beans, you lose so much of the carbohydrates because you are actually, creating a sprout. You're increasing the fiber. So the carbohydrates has to turn into fiber. So basically what you're doing here is you're creating all of these benefits. Now, because of the germination process, you've softened the outside of the seed. It's easier to digest. It produces good prebiotics. Now it's containing more water than your bean would cook. So now it's better for digestion and hydrating. It's increasing the fiber amount of that bean, which means you're going to have better bowels, more toxin removals because that sticky fiber pulls toxins. And now more fiber increases probiotics. So you get prebiotics and probiotics, less glucose because you've broken down the carbohydrates, increased enzymes. So now it's much better for digestion.
Okay, thank you. Now I get it. So basically putting the beans in water and keeping them fed water-wise until they sprout.
Yes.
Okay.
So let me show you something.
All right.
Okay, so basically all you need is a glass jar. Yep. And what you would do is you would take 2 tablespoons. I like mung beans because the flavor of them, they're easy. Okay. I like the flavor of them.
You know what?
And they're easy to grow.
I'm going to just do something for just one. I'm going to take off
the screen.
The share screen for a moment. And then what I'm also going to do, okay, let me do this. I'm going to present. I'm going to remove that. Okay, and then what I'm also going to do is I'm going to put you main screen. Go.
Yay! All right. So all you need is a glass jar. This is a big one. You just need a mason jar, okay? And what you're going to do is you're first going to soak your beans. This is the after look. You're going to first soak your beans overnight. 2 tablespoons of beans is all you need, and just cover them with purified water. Let them soak overnight. In the morning, you're going to drain off all the water and you're going to let your beans just sit inside your glass container. And twice a day, you're going to want to cover the lid with maybe a nylon stocking. You can get a sprouting jar. Let me show you something.
Could you even put saran wrap over it?
No, it has to breathe. You can also get a sprouting container, which has 2 containers. You can get fancy. You can buy this, but you can also just do it cheap and just get a mason jar. But you need to have some sort of a cover that will keep insects out, but will allow it to breathe. So that could be a paper towel with an elastic. Yeah. That could be a nylon stocking. That can just simply be like you could actually get a sprouting cover. But you do want to keep it covered. But even a paper towel with an elastic, as long as it doesn't tear, works. But this is what you're going to do. I like the nylon cover stocking. And the reason being is that if you get your nylon and you put an elastic, it tightens it around here and it lets the air in, keeps any bugs out, because fruit flies for some reason love these.
Okay.
But what you're going to do now is the next day, you just dumped off all that water. You soaked it for 24 hours.
Yep.
And now you just let it sit on the counter, slightly elevated. Okay, so that water drains. And twice a day, you're going to take your water, fill your jar with water just to cover your sprouts. And then you immediately shake off the water. All you're trying to do is let these sprouts get wet. While they're wet, their seed breaks. And I'll just show you here. So as the seed breaks, the skin will start to come off and it will start to create a small little sprout shoot that is happening at the end. This is not normal, right? You don't open up your beans and see a sprout, but that's what's happening. So the carbohydrates inside the bean have broken down and it's being used instead to create a sprout. But this sprout is just fiber and enzymes, and it's live raw food. And while it's doing that, it's creating what's called proteolytic enzymes, which are extremely, extremely healing for cancer and other ailments. So basically, when you eat it, you can eat the bean now. This is not, I would never be able to chomp through, an actual mung bean. But when it's sprouted, this mung bean is this sprout just like 4 days later. And so now I can eat the bean. You can see it got so much larger, but it's just full of water and it's full of enzymes. So if you would fill your container with a couple tablespoons of beans, it'll start like this, but in about 4 days, you won't see anything. It'll just look like, spider, whatever, filled with it, your entire jar. Yeah. And once 4 days has expired and your sprouts are full, you just take your sprouts and put it in the refrigerator. And now it keeps for 5 days. And, by the third day or the second day of eating your sprouts, start again. You should never run out of sprouts. And you could sprout lentils, you can sprout chickpeas, you can sprout kidney beans. I don't like sprouting those beans because the bottom part ends up being so big. And I don't like chomping through that. I like having a small bottom part. But you can also see that it's still full of the skins of the seeds, which are hard to digest. So what you can do is once they're done sprouting is fill your sprouts with water and most of the skins will float to the top. And then you can just skim them off and strain them out and then let the water, sit them in a strainer all day after most of the skins are gone and then put it in the refrigerator. But sprouting is such an incredible way to get so much protein, so much enzymes, so much fiber and water in your diet. And I'm recommending that you don't skip your salad, but you add it to your salad. You can still eat your chickpeas and your sweet potato, your chocho, your ground provisions, whatever you want afterwards. But adding sprouts to your meal, whether you're going to do broccoli sprouts or whether you're going to do bean sprouts, your broccoli sprouts, your radish sprouts, they're not a big source of protein, but they're a huge source of nutrients. So if you read this, that broccoli sprouts are about 50 times more powerful in cancer prevention than their mature counterpart. Because in one seed, you're getting like all that whole flower and you're not eating one seed. You're going to eat like 10, 15 seeds at a time. So I'm so passionate about sprouts.
I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell.
Yeah, because it's like, it is superfood so cheap. And you keep them in the dark. You grow them in your cupboard. They don't even need light. In fact, I recommend you don't give them light. It's amazing.
Okay. A few, of course, when you're here, always comments. Dr. Tachi says, I love mung beans.
Awesome.
And she also goes, yes, the skins on the beans is what produces gas.
Yes.
All right. Some questions here. JG Marsh from Colorado says, is it possible that growth hormones feed to livestock and plants are passed along to young kids, causing them to mature and develop at a younger age?
So 100%. The biggest problem is our dairy products, because not only are our cows being pumped with extra hormones and antibiotics, but dairy products are breast milk for a baby calf. So you would know that breast milk has so many extra hormones in it, trying to take a little baby to grow it up to a big mother cow or bull. So when you take the extra antibiotics that you're putting in that animal and the extra hormones that you're putting in that animal, plus you're giving it the breast milk from another species, I think dairy products are contributing to more of the rapid growth and abnormal growth of our young people today than ever before.
All right. I know you have some more slides you want to share with us.
Not too many, but I think just a couple.
Yeah, I've got some questions for you too. So
yeah,
there you go.
For sure. I think we've talked through most of it.
Okay, can you go back the slide you just were at?
Yeah.
The one before that? Okay. All right. So anything you want to share? I think you may have shared.
Yeah, we covered most all of it. So you're welcome to take the screen down. We can just chat a bit. I can wrap up with just a few points from Cuba.
Well, you can do that, or where do you want to wrap up and question my questions, or what order do you want to do?
Well, let's just, any other questions anybody has about sprouting, and then I'll just wrap up with a little summary of our Cuba trip, because so many people here were actual supporters of Cuba, and I want to just tell you what we did there. Okay, so
can you explain the nutritional benefits of different types of sprouts?
Yeah, so that's a good question. If you're going to sprout your grains, you are going to have a little bit higher amount of carbohydrates than you would in your beans or your broccoli sprouts. But you're going to get a whole lot more B vitamins. So whatever is in that grain, so grains have a lot of B vitamins, they have some iron and calcium. So whatever you're going to sprout, you're going to get like a multiplied, an exaggerated, not even exaggerated, but a greater amount of nutrients than was in that original grain or that original bean. So that's why in broccoli, you're getting tons of antioxidants. You're getting tons of cancer-fighting nutrients. But in your beans, when you sprout them, you're getting tons of protein. So when you sprout your grains, you're going to get a lot of B vitamins. You're going to get your iron. You're going to get more calcium. So depending what you sprout is really what you're going to get. It's magnified of what was in its original state.
Okay. Here's another conversation piece. How do sprouts compare to fully grown vegetables in terms of nutrients?
Yeah, so it doesn't even compare. As we saw in one of the other slides, it's like 50 times the amount that you're going to get out of its mature counterpart. So, and when it comes to, so if I'm going to have, one broccoli seed, I'm going to have like not one broccoli seed, but if I'm having one serving of broccoli, or I'm having one serving of broccoli sprouts, I have 50 times more nutrients in my sprouts than I would in my serving of broccoli. It's really powerful, extremely powerful. And so it's almost the same thing that's happening on the level of beans. I could take 2 tablespoons. How much cooked beans would that make? But I get so many sprouts from 2 tablespoons, right?
Okay. I know you spoke about it during our conversation, but again, just to go over some specific health conditions that can benefit from eating sprouts.
Yeah, so because it can be tricky, because Dr. Vibe, there's some people that don't digest raw food very well. They have like major digestion issues, and sprouts could take them over the edge.
Oh,
So sprouts can be, I mean, it's so much live enzymes, so much action happening in your stomach gut. So if you don't have a healthy digestive system, sprouts may not be beneficial for you in the beginning until you heal your stomach gut. But at the same time, there's so much prebiotics, probiotics, fiber, water, and enzymes that it helps to create a healthy stomach gut. It's just that, just like cabbage juice for someone who doesn't have a good stomach, it hurts in the beginning and after a while it feels better. So sprouts can help to create a much better digestive tract. It can help with diabetes, high blood pressure, cancer, cholesterol, because it picks up all that extra cholesterol and can flush it out the system. Dilutes your blood. They're so high in water, cancer fighting properties. And because the carbohydrates are so much less in the bean now, it doesn't negatively affect your blood sugar.
all right. Good stuff. Let's go to another one. What are the best ways to incorporate sprouts into meals?
So, best way to incorporate sprouts in the meals, never ever cook them. As soon as you cook them, I know that they're nice in your stir fry, but as soon as you cook them, you completely kill their enzymes. And it's the enzymes in the bean sprouts that come together in the body to create amino acids, which eventually come together to create that protein. So don't cook them. Toss them in your salad or eat them, even mixed into your meal raw, but don't cook them. The best way I find them is just to have them with my salad. But they're wonderful inside, 2 slices of gluten-free bread. You've got your tomato, your avocado, your sprouts in there. Like, you put them in a wrap. I mean, you can throw them on top of your stir fry. There's so many wonderful ways to enjoy them, but I'm just a salad girl, so it's hard for me to sit inside the bowl.
So what are some of your favorite recipes that feature sprouts?
You know what? I'm terrible that way because I literally eat salads. But for my family, they love it when I take the rice paper wraps, and they're hard rice papers, and I rehydrate them by wetting them a bit, and I wrap up in their lettuce and the sprouts with really thin shaved carrots and cucumbers. And I make a nice, instead of a peanut dipping sauce, a nice almond dipping sauce. They love it.
Cuba wrap up, and then we'll do the giveaway.
Yeah. I don't even know if this will go.
While you're looking at that too, Ryan Singh, good to hear from you, Ryan. Hope you and your family are fine and safe. He goes, loving this. Thank you.
Wonderful. So I don't know if we could share the screen. I don't know if that'll come up, but we can try.
It's not showing that I can yet, so it has to be on. Are you able?
Oh, yeah. It's all about me. Sorry. It's all about me. Share the screen and the window and there we go. So
there we go.
Yeah, I don't know if it will advance. It's actually it's kind of sort of playing now, but maybe not.
Slide.
Okay, I think I've got a kind of. So it was quite interesting. We didn't know what to expect. We went down there, and the plan is that for 2, possibly 3 days, but for a couple days, we were going to teach this. We were going to train a group of about 70 local church members how to be equipped on how to reverse diabetes, high blood pressure, cholesterol, digestion issues, and arthritis. So supposedly this group of people had already had lots of background knowledge in all of these diseases before. So this wasn't like brand new information. But when we got there on the Friday and on the Saturday, we went into the church and I was explaining, we observed the Sabbath. So it was like a full service. And I was explaining the 8 laws of health that we use, that I expected them already to know. It was like, no, we don't know it in that way. It was completely different. And this is the group of people that were supposed to be making the meals for all 70 through the week as we were doing the training, because we wanted to give them lunch for being there all day for the training. And I was just like, if they don't understand the concepts of disease, what kind of meal are they going to put together? So on Sunday, myself and the pastor, we actually went down to the market, and I went down to Hatch, and I had to immediately think, I've got to do this whole menu on my own. When I saw what they were going to cook for the people, God bless them, but it wasn't going to work with the message I was sharing. So we went to the market. There's no such thing as a grocery store. You're just picking up your items and putting them in your backpack, running back to our driver. Here's our 100 pounds of sweet potatoes and our beans. And anyway, I also started taking pictures of the costs of the items, because economy is, horrible in Cuba. So after hours in the heat, sweltering heat of getting food for 70 people for 3 days, we finally were able to accomplish that. The pastor was very nervous. He didn't see the oils and all the white rice, and he wanted to get huge 25 bags of white rice, bottles and bottles of oil, because that's how they cook. That's what they know. And I'm like, no, we need 2 small bags of rice. We don't even need any oil. So there was a lot of nervousness with, what is Carolyn going to do and feed these people? They're going to come and never want to come back. So on Monday, when I started the training, there was a lot of
So Carolyn,
very hesitant.
your
Yes.
internet connection. Okay, it seems like it's better now. You were cutting in and out.
Cutting out. Okay.
Okay.
So there was lots of, you don't know our culture, you don't know how we do things here, you don't know the economy. So I was showing them very simply that if they ate twice a day and they got rid of the rice and the oil, ate more of the beans, which I showed them the prices of the beans compared to the chicken. So I was able to show them that. And if they only ate twice a day, they'd actually save themselves more money. They'd reverse their diseases if they got rid of all the white rice. I will just forward these slides a bit. I know that there's going to be some issues. And so what we did is by that first day, we cooked their meal, which was lettuce, cucumbers, mung beans, tiny bit of rice, used 0 oil in their cooking, which they thought was not even possible. And the next day when they came back on Tuesday, I said, how many people ate dinner? And 2 out of the 70 raised their hand. They said, we were so full from lunch, we didn't even need dinner. And the 2 people that ate dinner said they didn't even need it. And so by Tuesday, they were convinced that they could live off 2 meals a day if they did it properly. And they used the less oil and the less rice. They used more beans, and I taught them how to sprout. I mean, now you can take 2 tablespoons of beans and it can give you fresh food. If you can't afford the lettuce and the cucumbers, you can eat sprouts before your meals. And so on the 3rd or 4th or 5th day, anyways, the Wednesday and Thursday, we then took all this information and went house to house to the poorest of poor. And I'm very disappointed in the culture and education of the Cubans because they're not tied to their land. You go to Jamaica, you visit the poor of poor, they're telling you, oh, you know what? That soursop on my tree will kill cancer, and this will do that, and this will do. They have no idea. They're suffering with digestion issues, but they're growing aloe in their backyard. And they don't even know if they eat the inside of the aloe, they'll heal their digestion issue. They're using garlic like sparingly here or there, but they're fighting an infection. They grow so much garlic there, and they didn't even know if they ate it, their infection would be gone. So there's just such a disconnect with the Cuban people and their land, because the poorest of the poor go to food banks. They're given oil, rice, white flour, white rice, and sugar. A little bit of beans and vegetables, and they're given meat because there's so much chicken there. But they're missing what's growing right on their land. And even though they're poor, they've got some land. They could just take one bean, put it in the ground, and they've got like 100 beans in just a few months. But they're missing that connection. So the people there are so sick with cancer, diabetes, high blood pressure. So we literally, the cars couldn't even take us in. We literally went house to house to house to just help people understand how to just get reconnected with teach them how to sprout, how to just make natural remedies from their ginger, put it in a paper towel, put it on your knee that's in pain. Show them why 2 meals a day would actually be more beneficial if they didn't eat all these starches at night. So it was really awesome, and God bless my team, because my team of people, I was just like, they thought they were coming to learn medical missionary, and I'm like, listen, we have to now cook food for 70 people 3 times this week. And I don't even have a recipe for you because I wasn't planning to cook. They were going to cook. I was going to provide the food. And my team just jumped in the kitchen. I verbally gave them what to make, and they made the most incredible meals in sweltering heat, no air condition, a small propane stove to work with. And it was incredible. We fed almost 100 people, like 3 days in a row. And
Wow.
like, just my hats off. And everybody worked 12 hours, no AC, electricity turned off, water stopped, and our team just kept going and got up the next day to do it again.
But yes, since we have now passed over 1,500 subscribers, I waited to go a little bit over it so it doesn't fluctuate. We're going to do a giveaway today, a
Nice.
complimentary consultation, complimentary. So we're going to do it now. We're going to put the screen up to give it away. All right. So we've got 18 people who are going to qualify. Let's do what's one more
How
comment.
you gonna pick?
Oh, it does this for us.
Nice.
Okay. Cheryl Lewis Thorpe says, I just sent you an email to book a consultation. Bam. All right. This is what we like. And hey, Cheryl, you may win.
Yeah, I was just going to say, she might be the winner.
Laura says, praise God. What a powerful testimony. Absolutely. All right. I'm going to give 10 seconds. If you just put a comment or anything into the wherever you watch right now, except on LinkedIn, that will qualify you. But I'm going to give you 10, even just say giveaway and just hit enter and it'll show up on the screen, because we're going to do this giveaway. So I'm giving 10 seconds right now. We have 18 entries. All right. I'm going to give it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Giveaway. Serena, you're already in. You're already in. If you put a comment in, you qualify. So it says there's another person that's qualified. You said it's gone up to 19 from 18 now. So that probably was Cheryl. Okay. We're going to do the giveaway now. So here we go.
This is exciting.
No, not me. No, we're not gonna do me. Sorry, that's just not fair. Let's go another round. All right. And actually,
That's
there's
funny.
people that said that I could have said something before.
Stop putting comments in your show.
All right,
Laura.
T1. Laura, what she's watching on. Okay, you know what? She's watching on Twitch. I don't know if you're going to be doing it. So I'm just going to do, because I don't know if you'll do it, Laura, or not. But if I'm going to do another one just in case, just as a backup. So Laura, I'm going to give you this.
We'll do both if needed. It's no problem. We'll do
All right.
both if needed.
All right.
Hopefully Laura can still do it.
Twitch can be a little bit funny at times. So, and there was something with this software that could prevent someone winning again. I didn't turn it on at the beginning. Look who it is. Cheryl. Okay, so there we go. Cheryl,
Your consultation's free, darling.
your consultation is on the house. So if you have any just general questions about health and nutrition, email Carolyn info@energyshockjuicebar.com. Let's see. A few other things, as always, subscribe to the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube and hit the notification button. Like the Dr. Vibe Show on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. Yes, especially on YouTube. We want to hit 1,600 to do another giveaway. Aha! Advertise your business, product, or service on the show and email me at dr.vibe@thedrvibeshow.com. Join our Discord group to continue the conversation. So I'll actually be putting the link for this conversation in the next 24 hours so you can watch the replay easily. And then a few other things. Let's go. If you want to get in touch with my co-host, Mr. Ryan Knight, RyanO'NeillKnight.com. Website, LinkedIn, Ryan O'Neill Knight, Instagram at Ryan.Knight99. Email address for him, work with me, RyanO'NeillKnight.com. Also, website for me, the drvibeshow.com. YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn, The Dr. Vibe Show. Instagram, The Dr. Vibe Show. X/Twitter, at Dr. Vibe Show. You know, as I'm doing this, the comments are flying in. Email, dr.vibe@thedrvibeshow.com. Carolyn, thank you as always for everything you and your team and your family, all you have done, are done, and will be doing. Always love having you on the conversation. People love you. Okay, Laura says, yes, I got the email. Okay, thank you. Just tell me you're going to get it done like as soon as possible, please, and thank you. That's great. So I always want to say thank you. And for everybody else, this is how we end off. Look at this screen. It says, have an amazing day, everyone. We will. For everybody else, we have to say this. Live your life as a dream. If you can dream it, you can make it. Sometimes you have to get small to get stronger. Block assumptions, then aim bigger, aim better, aim higher, aim wider. Love, faith, and respect. And remember, just don't manage your time, manage your energy, and remember to give yourselves grace. And we will see you on Friday or in between. Subscribe to the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube and Energy Shack Juice Bar on Instagram. If you do that, we're going to be happy. God bless. Peace to all. Keep the faith and walk good.